Okay. Hey, I'm live. Hi, guys. Happy Technique Tuesday, everybody there on TMFA. It is I, Dialect Coach Chris Lang. How's everybody doing today? Hope well. Hope everyone's having a great start to their week. Um, I'm here yet again on Technique Tuesday to talk about accents, accent training, and everything related to accents in your acting career. Um, I've been talking to a lot of actors recently, and by recently, I mean probably within the last week or so. And without fail, every single one of these actors that I've been talking to has expressed to me a version of the following thing. I feel a little stuck, and I wish I could bust out of it a little bit. I feel a little stuck in my art or in my craft or in my life, and I wish I could just bust out of it. I'm looking for a thing that is going to help sort of jumpstart me again or set me free or motivate me in a way. And so before I dive into the sort of main meat and potatoes of what I'm talking about today, which is the second of the five floodgates for accent freedom, in this case, the muscles of the jaw that we'll talk about. Before I dive into that, I just want to talk a little bit about that stuck feeling because I think there's a lot of it going around. The industry is currently kind of shut down. There are auditions happening. There are actors who are used to doing multiple kinds of things in auditions, film, television, other projects, who are now sort of relegated to only interacting vis-a-vis voiceover and things of that nature. And so they feel a little bit limited. And then there's actors who are beginning in their careers and have been looking for representation. So you feel limited because now, not a ton of stuff is happening, though there are managers and agents who are accepting submissions and things like that. And it's just kind of a sticky mess. And if, like everybody else, you have been living through a global pandemic for the last 9 months or so, it doesn't feel like that long, does it? March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October. So 8 months, almost 9 months, we've been living in this global pandemic. It's easy to get into the flow of just kind of feeling beat down by it a little bit. It's really, really easy. Um, and especially if you get into a series of new sort of daily habits where you're not going out, the social interactions not quite what it used to be. Maybe you're stuck in a small apartment in a big city, so where it's harder to social distance. You haven't seen your family and friends. You crave physical contact, things of that nature. I just want to take a second. If you are feeling stuck, all right, it is okay to take a step back. All right? You have to be able to give yourself permission to take care of yourself as a human being and as an artist and to admit for a moment, yeah, I'm not doing so hot. I'm really not doing as well as I was before, and this just doesn't feel. The zest of life is somehow not there for me. That is okay. You must give yourself permission to be human. And the reason that I say this is because in giving yourself permission to be that kind of disrupted human being, all right, you acknowledge the seed inside of you that gives spark to your art. This is where art comes from, my friends. This is where you, as an artist, have something to say. You have something to speak from. Your artistic soul, that fire inside you that wants to create, that wants to tell stories, that wants to embody humanity and display it for an audience. All right? That comes from you, your sense of self, your humanity, your zest, your chutzpah. Steve Martin calls it your stuff inside you, that charisma. All right? This is where your art comes from. And if it's feeling set upon, I think it really is necessary just to take a step back and go, not doing so hot with it right now, and acknowledge that disruption of your normal human self. Because in the acknowledgement of that, we gain perspective, we gain the ability to say, I can step back and take some time off, recharge some batteries, spend some time reading a book, get lost in a book. It's not escapism. Get lost in a book. Get lost in some other piece of creativity. Get lost on Spotify or Amazon Music. Listen to a bunch of new music. Get lost in other people's creativity and allow that to help regenerate and restart your own. All right? Because even if you are feeling a little bit right now, and I totally dig it. I'm there with you guys. Even if you're in that spot, all right, now is the time to take advantage of the fact that we have a break. All right, we have a break from deadlines. We have a break from, endless submissions for auditions and, needing to turn around those self-tapes quickly or to be in person for those auditions. We have a break. We have a really great break. All right, and because we have a great break, we have time to breathe and to be able to do some stuff for ourselves that will set us up on the other side of the pandemic, whenever that is, better for it. All right? You've always got to be thinking about how do I move I'm a big sports metaphor guy. How do I move the ball a yard at a time down the field, even an inch down the field? Every decision that I make in my career wants to be geared towards how is this good for helping me move forward. So even taking a break, you can say, yeah, this is actually good because if I take a little break, a step back, when I come back to it in a week after just, getting lost in books or just restorative self-care, things like that, even if I take that break, then I'm better prepared to move forward from there. So this is important because you've got to strike while the iron is hot. All right. I did a panel over the weekend with union management, and I was there with Wendy and a bunch of awesome casting and agents. It was a very fun panel to take part in, and one of the things that struck me being in that panel, all of us were kind of speaking the same message and saying, you've got to strike while the iron is hot right now. You've got to strike while that iron is hot, because nobody's just going to give you anything in this business. And so you have to be willing to go out and take it. You've got to be willing to go out and get it. Go out and get trained, get better, get headshots, get your package together, get representation. You are the one who's in charge of going out and doing that. And if you're feeling set upon by life circumstances, you want to be able to take a step back so that you can get back to that mission. Because now is the time. My friends, you want to be the actor who took advantage of this weird time in life, all right, and emerged on the other side of the pandemic with new skills, with better headshots, with new representation, with a new sense of self and empowerment in your acting. You want to be that person, all right? That's the actor that you want to be. And I just want to encourage you in that. It doesn't happen all in one day, so don't expect it to. Don't even try to make it happen all in one day. What you want to do is try to make it happen over time. Give yourself the gift of studying. Give yourself the gift of bathing your instrument in technique, and give yourself the gift of being kind and healthy to yourself. It would take off some time if you need it. All right? So it's just been on my mind. I wanted to talk about it today. But now I'd like to leap into everything else I want to talk about accent-wise. I see some people are watching, and usually at this point I've encouraged you to say hi in the comments. So say hi in the comments if you've come around. I want to know if my regulars are back, any new people. Please do say hi. I want these things to be a conversation so that we have conversations about accents and about your training and about what's good and worthwhile and fun and exciting in art. All right? That's why I'm here. So say hello. And as always, my friends, post your questions in the comments as well. Even if you are not watching this live, put your questions in the comments, because I always circle back and I take a look, make sure that everything gets answered. Okay, so last week we started on the 5 floodgates for accent freedom. All right? Essentially, think about the things that we want to open up that will get us out of the way of ourselves so that accent work can become easier. Last week, we started with the muscles of the neck and the throat. We stretched the platysma and our muscles along the sides here and around the back from the occipitals, and we just experimented with what those things felt like. Today, I want to take you through the next group of muscles, which is, wait for it, the jaw. All right? The muscles of the jaw. So this one's a pretty important one because I don't know if you know this, everybody, but the jaw is a pretty big mover and shaker when it comes to your accents and your speech of any sort. So we're going to pick apart some of the musculature. I'm not going to go through all of the muscles of the jaw because there's a lot of them, and we don't need all to know necessarily all of them today. All right, but you do need to know how the muscles that we can impact influence how the jaw is able to move and move around and do things so that you can manipulate these muscles and use them for other accents. Groovy? All right, my friends, let's dive right in. So, the jaw. Now, when I talk about the jaw, the first thing most people think of is this guy right here, all right? The jaw. Now, if you're like me, you have a beard to help accentuate your jawline, right? Chiseled jawline, that whole thing. So this jawline is what I'm talking about when I say the jaw, okay? Now, this big piece of bone, which is what it is here, is actually goes right up into here on the side, okay, both sides, all right? And it's kind of got this L-shaped, thing. It kind of looks a little bit like this, all right? And this is the mandible, okay? Mandible. This is what you see, the low, if you have ever seen a human skull, it's that lower part that pops off, has the lower teeth on it, all right? They're sort of embedded inside it. This mandible, okay, this is the big part of the jaw that we're going to interact with as it moves, okay? Because this is a piece of your vocal anatomy that moves. It moves, okay? Because it moves, I'm going to describe it as one of your articulators. To articulate essentially means to be jointed in movement. All right, and this can move, so your jaw is one of your articulators versus, for instance, things that don't move in your mouth, like your teeth, for instance, those we call points of articulation because we can actually touch an articulator, something that moves, to the point of articulation. So your jaw is an articulator because it moves. How exciting. Okay, so what musculature makes the jaw move? All right, the first muscle we're going to deal with, I'll take my glasses off for this because they'll fall off my face as I do this exercise, is going to be this muscle right here along the sides of your jaw. This, my friends, is called the masseter muscle. Okay, it's a pretty big muscle. So if you take your fingers here and just touch, all right, maybe go in front of your earlobes and then down just a little bit into this kind of meaty part of your cheek, the back part of your cheek, and clench your jaw. You should feel a muscle sort of bulging out right here. You're able to sort of feel this thing puff out and out and out. That's your masseter muscle at work, okay? This muscle we use a lot. We use it for everything from talking, moving the jaw, to chewing. It's a pretty strong muscle. And if anybody here, still no comments, I'm just going to check and make sure. Sometimes the Facebook Live doesn't show me the comments right away. So I'm going to look over here on my other browser and see if there are comments, in fact, showing up in here. Kind of odd. I usually see comments by this point. Maybe I'm just boring today. No, that can't be. All right, where is it? Okay, yeah, there we go. Okay, so this masseter muscle we use for a lot of stuff. So anybody out there in Facebook land deal with this idea or have heard of TMJ? All right, if anybody has ever said, I have TMJ. All right, TMJ, it's an acronym, and it stands for this joint in here, temporomandibular joint. So temporo, head, mandibular, jaw, bone, joint. The condition of TMJ is actually a misnomer because we all have TMJ. We all have a temporomandibular joint. Every one of us has that joint. Two of them, in fact, right here and right here. So if you suffer from a TMJ condition of some sort, it's likely there's an imbalance in the musculature especially with this masseter muscle, so that one side is stronger than the other and is pulling the jaw one side or the other, and that's when we get, for instance, jaw clicking. Pain sometimes can be had from that. sort of chronic toothache in a way. Some sinus problems can be caused because back here by the jaw are your eustachian tubes that go up into your ears and your sinuses. So lots of different things can be affected here with this jaw. Um, so this is the masseter muscle again. It's a pretty big deal. So what we're going to do is we're going to massage this muscle to see if we can release some of it. Okay, and we want to release this muscle because if we're carrying excess tension here, we actually reduce our ability to move the jaw flexibly, and not just up here, but also back here, where you can wiggle the jaw and create some space. It's a pretty big deal. All right, Monty is here. Monty Halliburton Crosby. Monty, I gotta say that name, Monty Halliburton Crosby. You sound like you should be an old school like Supreme Court justice with that name. It really is a name full of power, and I love it. But hello, nice to see you here. So this muscle we have to massage because it carries a lot of tension. Who here clenches their teeth? This guy. All right. Who here wears a mouth guard to sleep in because they clench their teeth? This guy. All right. So if you clench your teeth when you're driving, sleeping, doing anything else, this muscle can carry a lot of tension. So the masseter muscle wants to be massaged. So take your fingers. I like to use my thumbs here. I also like to use my knuckles. You can be pretty aggressive with this muscle. I just want you to go ahead and do some circles. And you can feel this muscle. It starts right here, all right? And it runs, you can sort of walk your fingers under your cheekbone and feel where it ends, and then walk down, and you can feel where it inserts underneath your jawbone, the mandible there, okay? So you can actually feel the whole length of this muscle. So go ahead and massage this guy pretty aggressively because he can take it. He's a pretty stout muscle. He's not made out of candy glass. He's really here to do a lot of work. And you can get up under these cheekbones and sort of open your mouth. And do yourself a favor and make some noise while you do this. Because making noise actually helps release these muscles, as it turns out. Nice, gentle, easy vibration. You get that whole muscle. Now, one thing we can do is find this middle point in there, all right, and make some circles. And now we're going to open and close the jaw while we do this. 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Keep doing circles now, and we're going to move the jaw side to side. 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now keep doing circles. We're going to move the jaw forward to back 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more. 5. All right, now release that and just let your jaw hang. What do you feel? What do you feel? You can even try moving your jaw around just a little bit. What do you feel? Feel anything different than you did before? Do you feel any release? Maybe you even feel sensation where you may not have felt that before. Pardon me. As I die on camera. Tight musculature tends to sometimes be numb and not be able to feel a ton of sensation. So when we release some of this musculature, sometimes we're like, oh my gosh, I can actually feel that for the first time ever. Wow, it feels like something. So now we have the ability to feel some stuff all of a sudden. So that's the masseter muscle. And let me encourage you, you can work on this muscle all day, every day. All right, this muscle you can massage all the time and never get done with it. All right, just because it carries a lot of tension and we use it all the time. So you could sit here, in your acting classes and massage your jaw, and I encourage you to do that just to keep things nice and loose and flexible. All right, it's not that tight muscles are bad; it's that tight muscles are slow. All right, so tight muscles are slow. We don't have the ability to be as flexible with them as we want to be when we speak and need to speak quickly and in other accents. All right, so just start there. Now, I'm going to do one other thing for the masseter muscle. All right, back here, all right, on both sides, if you go right underneath your earlobe, you're going to feel a little divot. All right, that is a pressure point, okay? And you can press into it, but that's not the pressure point we're after. If you take your finger from that pressure point and you walk down your jaw corner, this mandible, you're going to feel a little divot right there on the end of it. All right, that is another pressure point. You may have to poke around a little bit to find it, but it's kind of on the back side as opposed to the underside. All right, I like to use my thumb for this. And I want you to dig your fingers in once you've found it. And as you dig your fingers in, you'll notice your jaw comes forward. It protrudes a little bit. All right, now this will be uncomfortable. So live here in uncomfortable. This is not pain. This is special pleasure. It's how you know you're alive. That's what the Russians used to tell me. So put it in here. And I always want you to press into this thing as hard as possible. Press, 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 press. And breathe. And breathe. Ow. And breathe. Keep breathing. Breathe. Couple more breaths. 4 more breaths. That's 1. Keep breathing. 2. Keep breathing. Stay with it. 3. Keep breathing. 1 more breath. Here we go. And now release. And breathe. Feel your ribs move all of a sudden. Yeah, when we release some of this musculature, it trickles down and your ribs can move. Feel how good it feels to breathe for a second. That really does feel good. I love that. All right, so we can massage the masseter by moving it around and massaging it. All right, and we can also dig into these pressure points. When we dig into pressure points, we're really just bringing blood flow to that muscle area. And so as we bring blood flow there, the muscles become engorged with blood. They swell, and they release. All right. That's the masseter. The next muscle I'm going to talk about is the temporalis muscle. All right, and that's a muscle that starts right about here in your temple. All right, it's right by my hairline, but your hairline is maybe different than mine. So find your temples first, little divots here in your skull. I want you to walk your fingers back. All right, until you feel a piece of musculature that may in fact feel a little tender. But if you clench your jaw a couple times, you're going to feel a little bulge of muscle there. This is your temporalis muscle. It runs right along here. Okay, kind of this area here, all right? But it's actually responsible for squeezing the jaw up, all right? So this is a jaw muscle. So go ahead and massage this one. And now, if you're like me, you'll love this one, all right? When I go to see my massage therapist, I have her work this muscle a lot just because it's so tight sometimes, and it feels really good, I think. So go ahead and massage this one. You can move your fingers up and down it. Very nice. All right, fix your hair. All right, messed up my hair. Nothing to do about it except continue. But that's the temporalis muscle. All right, it doesn't take a lot to help release this one. It's a pretty good muscle. It's pretty easy usually to release. But again, move your jaw around. See if you feel anything different. And if you do, put it in the comments, for crying out loud. I'm not seeing any comments today. What's going on here? All right, put it in the comments. All right, but feel your jaw. What do we feel? Very nice. Okay, now, the next set of musculature that we're going to deal with here is a little bit weird because it's hard to see it and feel it. All right, it's a piece of muscle that runs from right under your chin all the way back here. All right, it's called the digastric muscle. Now, you aren't going to be able to necessarily feel this muscle for yourself, but what you can do is feel the effects of this muscle as it's working. Okay, this muscle's one job, all right, it's got a bunch of jobs. This muscle's job primarily for us is to move the jaw either this way, forward and back, or side to side. Now the masseter is involved in that one too, but this muscle under here can pull a little bit like this and back and forth. Okay, so it's a pretty important muscle for a lot of accents because jaw placement in terms of protrusion or retraction, all right, actually features pretty heavily in a lot of accents, all right, pretty heavily. So you're going to definitely use this muscle a lot, but it's hard to feel. So I want you to see if you can feel the effects of this muscle more than you can feel the muscle itself. All right. Hey, Christian Rodriguez is here. Hey, Christian. Nice to see you, buddy. Definitely feel less tension that I didn't know was there, and now I feel more relaxed, right? This jaw is a carrier of a lot of tension, and when we start to release it, we tend to get rid of a lot of stuff that we didn't need. All right, and we go, oh, I can release here. The muscles that we worked on last week in the neck and the throat, those can start to release more because of this, vice versa as well. Yeah, because they are all interconnected. All right. This work, by the way, guys, a lot of actors I hear complain about having to do a bunch of exercises and warm-ups and stuff like that. Man, a warm-up, a massage, a stretch of all of this stuff, that's a gift, my friends. You need to treat it like a gift. What a luxury that you get time. Ooh, you get time to do this work. That's everything, my friends. Yeah. Yeah, you need to fight for your warm-up times. You can't go into work cold and inflexible. You can't do that, right? You wouldn't go do the decathlon at the Olympics without being stretched and warm. Why would you think that you could be an Olympian actor at that level without being all warm and fluid and stretched out, right? Give yourself the gift of warm-up. It should feel really good, all right? This is like taking your instrument to the spa. Spa day, all right? I don't know about you, but since COVID, I've missed my spa days, right? No pampering. So this is a spa day that you can give to your acting instrument. All right, so this digastric muscle, we're just going to move it around now that we've released a bunch of stuff, because you can't really massage it too much without getting inside the mouth and pulling your tongue out, and we don't want to do that. So let's move this digastric muscle around. First thing we're going to do is just play with range of motion, forward and back, 5 times. So we'll go forward and back. Forward and back. Forward and back. Forward and back. And then 5, forward and back. All right? And now just let the jaw hang. And see if you can feel where that muscle may have caused any tightness. For me, I feel it back here, just in back of my masseter, because that's where this muscle is attached. It's in between those two masseter muscles, straight back here. All right? So you'll probably feel something like that runs right along this jawline. Okay? So you can feel the effects of this muscle much more easily than you can actually feel the muscle itself. All right? So let's do another one. All right? This is one of my favorite ones. So I call this the wagon wheel. All right? So we're going to essentially do a circle with the jaw. Out, down, back. Good face there. Up, and out again. All right? That's one. So we'll go this way 5 times. Out, down. And the hand motion does help, by the way. 2, 3, remember to breathe. 4, 5. All right. Let the jaw relax. I feel a little extra tension right here. Again, that's where the connection point for the digastric on the front is. Now, we've gone this way. Ooh, what if we went backwards? All right, do this 5 times with me here. So we're going to start neutral-ish, whatever that is. Go back, down, forward, and up. Back, forward, 1. Back, 2. Again, back. 3, 4. 4. Last one, back. That's 5. So I feel, again, that a little bit more here when I'm going in that direction than I do back here where the digastric intersects. But you may be different. All right, allow yourself to have whatever experience you're having and to just know, oh, I can actually feel that muscle. All right, and I like playing with this because we're dealing with range of motion. And because we can't easily massage this muscle, so this range of motion exploration is a way for us to stretch it a little bit and engage in it that way. Okay, last but not least, here's what I want to do. All right, I want to play with how do we just release the jaw. One of the things you can play with here is putting your hands on either side of your face here and using the heels of your hands to push the jaw and see if you can release it here at this hinge like this. All right. This may be difficult. This may be difficult for you. That's okay. That's okay. Having the ability to release the jaw is something you can learn, though, over time. It's important to just try it out. Can I push that jaw from side to side? Another way to try this is grab the jaw here and just sort of wiggle it up and down, sort of forward and back a little bit too. Now, if you're going to do this one, release your tongue. Have it nice and flat and just hang there. Remember to breathe. Now from the side, just watch this. You can see this release right through here, hopefully. All right? And you can see it's actually a little pinker here, this skin, because I got more blood flow going there now that I've opened it up. All right, so just take a second and feel that jaw. Yeah, another thing you could do, some people like to do this. That's fine. It tenses your shoulders. So you need to know that that's what's happening. And if you have tight shoulders, maybe not the best thing for you to do. It's not bad. All right, but again, tight muscles are slow muscles. So if we want to be flexible up through here, yeah, maybe not the ideal exercise to use for you. All right, for some people, absolutely can definitely get away with it. So that's the jaw, everybody. All right, that's the jaw. I was looking at my glasses. I'm like, oh, they're not on my face anymore. That's why I can't see. All right, that's the muscles of the jaw. The second of the 5 floodgates for accent freedom. All right, I encourage you, do this stuff every day. All right, if you work these muscles out and give yourself, like I said, the gift of warm-up, the gift of massage and stretching, because this stuff, I don't know, but I think it feels great. It feels good once it's done. All right, if I don't do it for a day, it's almost like something's wrong. Like I didn't brush my teeth or something. Like it just feels a little odd and off that day. All right, but give yourself the gift of this every day, and you will start to build in new physical habits of flexibility and openness that will be more useful to you long term in your voice and speech, and especially accent related acting stuff. I'm going to open it up to some questions now. We'll see if we have any questions about the jaw this week or last week's neck and throat muscle exploration. Want to make sure that all of that stuff gets addressed if you have any questions. Evan's here. Hi, Evan. Evan's my bro. Good to see you, Evan. Evan is a client of mine. Has been working with me for a while now. Started in my accent skills workshop, and we're moving into working on one-on-one privately now on general American accent. Evan's from Georgia and has the best. I mean, the best Georgia accent. It's iconic. It's unmistakable. It's awesome. It's one of those accents that I'm like kind of jealous of. Wish that I came with one of those accents, but that's why I have clients who can also have those accents, and I get to listen to them all the time. But Evan says, open the floodgates of accent studies. So accent studies, good segue, Evan. Thanks for that. It's like my hype man out there today. So for accent studies, my friends, if you want more of this, all right, this is just scratching the surface. I'm giving you some simple exercises to do on your own, but this is by no means enough or sufficient for you to begin to be really, really good and flexible with applying this to accent work. All right, to apply this to accent work, you need more. So you need actual accent technique, accent skills. All right, you need to have an awareness of your own accent and your vocal anatomy. You need to have flexibility with all of this vocal anatomy so you can choose to do different things with it than you do in your own accent. You need to understand how you shape the flow of sound as it comes out of your face into vowels, and how you obstruct that flow with your vocal tract into consonants, and how then you can start playing with all the possibilities. If you dig deep into accent skills, my friends, everything that exists in all 7,000 plus languages on the face of the planet is open to you. Everything. All right? You may be like, nah, I don't believe it. No, believe it. Everything that exists in every language and every accent of every language in all 7,000 plus languages on the planet will be available to you. You will have access to it and be able to do it. All right? If you invest in your accent skills today. You want more casting opportunities? Gain more accents. You want a competitive edge over your competition? Gain more accents. Become a master of accents. All right? Become a powerhouse accent actor. Think of all your favorite actors. For me, Gary Oldman, Stephen Delane, Daniel Day-Lewis, Cate Blanchett, Saoirse Ronan, Kate Winslet, DiCaprio. These actors, all of them, every single one of them is a powerhouse accent actor. They are chameleon-like. Their work with accents allows them to crawl inside the skin of another kind of character every time they're acting, every single time. And this doesn't happen by accident. They weren't just born super talented and super pretty and super good at accents. No, they actually all have worked with great accent coaches over time. All right, Meryl Streep works with accent coaches because she knows how much work it takes to master an accent to the point where she can lose herself in it. All right, you can learn how to do this too. All right, come to my accent skills workshops. Courses.dialectcoachchrislang.com is where you'll go. I want you guys to sign up. From now until the end of October, you, my friends, have the ability to get 40% off my accent skills workshop. 40%. All right? You can use the coupon code OCTSURPRISE. October surprise. It's a little election humor. Hopefully we can find the election funny one day. But OCT surprise, all right? I have 10 of these. If you are an actor who wants to start leveling up your accent skills today and leveling up your career, come to my accent skills workshops, all right? And use that coupon code, and you can, get 40% off today, all right? Start today. By the new year, you're going to have a bunch of new skills, all right? Along with my accent skills, by my office hours as well. All right, these are private one-on-one 20-minute sessions where while you're doing the on-demand workshop, you can check in with me personally, ask me your questions. We can talk about anything you want to talk about, any piece of technique or exercise. I am here to help you. I want to make sure you get the support you need. All right, but do not dawdle. Now is the time to take advantage of this opportunity. All right, do not be the actor who said, I'll wait. I'll wait until it's easier, till maybe I feel more like it, until I'm more inspired to do it, until the industry's back up, until I get an agent and they tell me what to do, until my acting teacher tells me something about it. Do not wait. All right? Take this opportunity because it's your opportunity. Grab the bull by the horns and go. This business doesn't give you anything. You got to go take it. So I want you to go do that. All right? So that's all I've got for you today. That's about 40 minutes. That's enough of yammering from Chris. Next week, just a teaser, the next muscles are the lip muscles we're going to be dealing with. Okay, I'm going to take you through all the lip stuff. Okay, we're going from bigger muscle to smaller muscle. So we'll go through lips. After that will be the tongue. And then, my friends, the soft palate and uvula. Very exciting stuff. Okay, as always, if you're not watching this live, still put your questions in, please. I will circle back and help you out. If you are interested in accent training, courses.dialectcoachchrislang.com is where you can go to sign up for the on-demand accent skills workshop. If you want to talk to me, please talk to me. You're never bothering me with questions, my friends, on TMFA. dialectcoachchrislang.com. That's my website. I have a very friendly chatbot who will take your information, and we can schedule a one-on-one consultation call to go through what the next steps would be for your accent training. All right, everybody, that's all for today. Hope you guys have a great week. Stay safe, stay healthy, get outside and breathe some fresh air if you can. And I will see you all next Tuesday. Same wacky time, same wacky channel. I love you all. God bless you, TMFA. We'll see you next week.